For the use of this ACtent, we will first choose the parking position of the vehicle. In this way, the vehicle position will be moved as little as possible during subsequent installation and use. It will go more smoothly during your building process. Therefore, we just need park the car in a relatively flat place. We can keep an open, flat lawn nearly 4 and 5 meters, which is enough to set up our entire ACtent. The first step is to open our tent bag. This is the whole outer bag of ACtent, inside which we can see the main body of it. This is our main support bracket, a quick brace and extension bracket and awning rod. There is a cover over our entire tent. These are the floor nails and instruction manual. Therefore, there are 6 widgets when you open the whole package. Once we have all the pieces laid flat, we can begin the building process. The first step is to take out of the main body ACtent. This is a storage strap. Remember not to lose it, because it can compress the tent in the process of subsequent storage. Then we can take out our tent. The main support poles are not connected to the tent during the first use. So, we will proceed with the explanation according to the normal usage steps. First, locate the 4 anchor points for securing the tent. At the rear end of the tent, locate the side with the logo. There is a large cover cloth that extends over the front end of the tent and covers the top of the vehicle. So, during the setup process, everyone needs to identify the front and rear sides and proceed with the setup accordingly. The second step is to take out the 4 stakes. When leveling these 4 corners, we need to make them symmetrical with the vehicle body. This way, the tent will not be slanted during the subsequent setup. The rear end has 2 plastic support points, while the front end has 2 support strap loops. So, you can start by flattening the rear end. The first ground stake point is fixed vertically at the rear end, about 20 centimeters away from the tire. The second ground stake point is aligned with this straight line and perpendicular to the rear end of the vehicle. We can assess the situation and make adjustments if we notice that the entire tent is leaning to the right. Then we adjust the ground pegs on our side accordingly. After securing the 2 ground pegs at the rear of the vehicle, we proceed to secure the other 2 ground pegs at the back end. Similarly, pull and stretch from this angle. Keep a distance of about 10 centimeters between the plastic tab and the corner of the support bag for the next stake. This place can be flattened, leaving a distance of about 10 centimeters for nailing. You can check it again. The distance between the tent and the edge of the tire should be approximately equal on both sides. So, our first step of positioning is complete. The next step is to set up the main frame of the tent. Because the tent body and the frame are separate in the first use of the tent. This reduces the potential damage to the fabric during transportation. Next, we will proceed with assembling the frame structure. Step 1. Take out the frame structure. You can start by folding the 4 legs on the ground. Form an approximately H-shaped structure by folding the legs, and then lift the central support frame. It will naturally stand upright. And then we can open and secure the middle joint of the frame. When you see the yellow button pop up and hear a click sound, it means it's locked in place. Move the support frame towards the end of the tent. Find the support legs that we just secured. Insert the oval-shaped tent into the slot and rotate it 90 degrees to secure it. Complete this step for each leg in sequence. The front support bracket will be positioned slightly to the right of the first anchor point. Find the oval-shaped slot and rotate it 90 degrees. Repeat the same process on the other side. The next step is to secure the buckles in place. Find the seam between the 2 transparent windows of the tent. There will be several hooks. Hang them one by one on the left and right sides of the rear pole, the middle pole, and the left and right sides of the front pole. The middle section is now fully hung. Next, extend the legs of the support frame. Hang the hooks one by one. Note: the hooks in this area are located above and below the joints. Similarly, the hooks in this area are also located above and below the joints. Next, take out the extension poles for the tent. The front extension pole of the tent is a black aluminum pole. After threading the pole, take out the canopy pole. Find the front extension pole. Insert the pole into the tube. Straighten the pole and adjust the other side. Insert the pole tip into the plastic piece's round hole and hang the hooks. Next, cover the front extension canopy over the rear of the vehicle. Retrieve the 4 stakes. Choose an appropriate length. Use the ground stakes to secure the guy ropes to the ground. Ensure that the ground stakes are at a 45-degree angle to the ground. Regarding the anchoring points, we provide 2 options for securing the tent. The first method is to tie a guy line directly below this point and secure it with a tent stake. Place the tent stake as close as possible to the side of the car and tighten the guy line. If there are high requirements for tightness, the second solution is to remove the windrope and put it in the door. Be sure to lift this corner while avoiding the door lock. Once it is closed, it will be in a completely sealed state. We will now move on to the final adjustment stage. We can now proceed to check if the front cover is properly secured and if the tent corners are fixed in place. As you can see, there is some sagging in this corner, which is due to the lack of securing the guy rope in this area. So, for the design of this guy rope, we will wrap it around the support pole and then secure it to fasten the frame. Adjust it to align with the pole and secure it in place, then adjust the tensioning clips as needed. Continue adjusting the other side in the same manner, ensuring it aligns with the pole and secure it using the tensioning clips. The outer side of the tent has transparent windows, which can result in increased heat inside. Therefore, we need use a top canopy. Let's start by unpacking the accessories. There is a large triangular extension at the rear, and a small triangular extension at the front. Once you have located the front side, proceed to cover it with the top cover fabric. This is the left front hook, pole strap, and Velcro fastener. This is the rear hook. Find the red strap and use it to hang and secure the pole strap. Finally, let's set up the side door. Take out the pry bar for the side door and the remaining 2 guy ropes. Thread the pointed end of the pry bar through the copper ring on the side door cover. Through the adjustment of the ground nail point and the windrope point, the side door will have a significant improvement compared with the previous. Next, we will enter the interior of the tent to connect the channels. Typically, after opening the side door, we proceed with the storage process. A small tip is to roll the door curtain from the outside to the inside as much as possible. Because we often experience temperature differences or rainy weather outdoors, there is usually a significant amount of moisture on the outside of the tent. Rolling the moisture from the outside to the inside keeps it on the surface. When you open it again, the inside will be dry and there won't be any dew. The zipper on both sides of the connecting piece at the rear of the car has been closed. The top cover and the bottom wrap will cover the entire rear end of our vehicle. Next, we will connect the inner tunnel. Open the mesh and door curtain. Finally, connect the connection part with the inside of the trunk using Velcro. The installation and connection of the Tesla trunk tent to the car are now complete. The trunk tent can be expanded on both sides to provide ample space. If the user wants to expand the tent on both sides simultaneously, they will need to have 2 additional canopy poles. Under normal circumstances, if the sun is on the right side, you can open the left side door curtain to provide shade. If the sun is on the left side, you can open the right side door curtain to provide the best shading effect. The overall setup of the tent and the general instructions for connecting the interior components have now been completed. Next, I will explain the process of packing up and storing the tent. The sequence for packing up the tent is exactly the opposite of the setup process. Remove the top cover, unhook the hooks, undo the Velcro, and remove the ground stakes. Note: do not throw the ground stakes randomly. Store the ground stakes and the last adjusted guy line. Next, remove the hooks. When removing the aluminum alloy poles, Gently press on them to ensure they don't come apart. You can also store the tent poles connected to the tent for easy setup next time without having to assemble them again. Simply press the yellow button to retract the 4 support legs and the crossbar for storage. Choose one side door and open a small ventilation opening to allow air to escape from the tent. Fold the outer bottom of the tent towards the inside, and then fold the support legs. Note: during the folding process, check if the fabric is caught in the joints. Lastly, fold the tent poles towards the center. Important reminder: check for any fabric being caught or pinched during the folding process. All the poles are now in the middle of the tent. Just squeeze the fabric to expel any trapped air. Finally, use the tent storage strap to secure and bundle the tent, and make sure to count the ground pegs. Therefore, if you store the tent along with the support poles, it will be much more convenient and efficient. Gather the cover fabric, sectional poles, and ground stakes together and store them in the outer bag. Finally, simply secure the outer bag with the attached straps to complete the tent storage effortlessly.